Okay, we're going to run a trial here. Graph the equations y equals negative 3x plus 6 and y equals negative 3x minus 1 on the same plane. So write those two equations down. Y equals negative 3x plus 6, y equals negative 3x minus 1. Okay, that's m, that's b, that's m, that's b. The y is by itself, then I have my slope and my y-intercept. So slope, negative 3 over 1, and then plus 6 y-intercept. Okay, so on the y-axis I go positive 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And from there I go forward 1, down 3. Okay, I take the straight edge and make the line. Okay, arrows on both ends. Now the next one, negative 3, negative 1 over 1. So minus 1 now, so negative on y is this way. And I go down 3, forward 1. Okay, lines are parallel, so parallel. The reason they are parallel is because the slopes are identical. B's are different, but the m, the slopes are identical. Now I want to do another test, okay? Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 6, and y equals 2x minus 1. Okay, so MB. Okay, so the slope would be negative 1/2, and the y-intercept positive 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go forward 2, down 1. Okay, there you have it. Okay, now the next one, you get MB, so slope, y-intercept, so the slope's 2 over 1, then negative 1 is your y-intercept. So now you're going up 2, forward 1. So these are not parallel, okay? They cross, but they cross at a special type of angle that you won't be able to see because I'm not a good line drawer. Okay. This is supposed to be a 90-degree angle. Okay. That means they're perpendicular. Now look at the slopes and you'll see kind of why they're perpendicular. They're flipped for 1 over 2, 2 over 1, and one's negative, one's positive. Okay. Now, before we get into the examples, you're going to want to write on a piece of notebook paper. Parallel, you use the same slope. Slope is m, remember. Perpendicular, you make the slope into a fraction if it's not already. So if you see like 6, you put 6 over 1, you flip it. It's called reciprocating it, but we'll just go flip it. And then you change the sign to opposite. So parallel is easier because I just use the same slope, but perpendicular we make the slope into a fraction, we flip it, then we change the sign to opposite. I'm going to refer to this throughout the assignment. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that is parallel, this is the first example, to y equals 3x plus 2 through 2, 3. Label that xy. So y equals blank x plus blank mb. So slope y-int. Okay, now to get your slope, that's your m, that's your b. Make a wall on the y side, make sure y is by itself, so then you label mb on the other side. Get rid of the b, you don't use that for anything. Okay, label it, but then get rid of it. Now what are we talking, parallel or perpendicular? We're talking parallel, so we use the same m that they have, so 3, 3. They have to match m's. Y-intercept, y equals m times x plus b. So my m is 3. 3 replaces the y, 2 replaces the x. Line up your plus, put your b first in that sentence. 3 times 2 is 6. Minus 6, minus 6, negative 3 equals b. There's your answer. Okay, these two lines, if I graphed them on the same plane, would be parallel. Okay, next one. Parallel to y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 6 through negative 6, 3. MB, okay? So M and B, M is the slope, B is the y-intercept, okay? So the equation, the y is by itself, so label MB. Get rid of your B for all these problems. Over there, you need to find your own B, but you get rid of the one they gave you, okay? What are they talking? Parallel. Parallel use the same slope they have, so that would be the same slope, negative 3 over 2. Okay, y-intercept, y equals m times x plus b. So m, negative 3 over 2. 3 replaces the y, and negative 6 replaces the x, and I'm in like Flint if I know how to do the rest. B goes first. So negative 3 over 2 times negative 6 is 9. Then I subtract the 9 from both sides. Negative 6 equals b. Okay. That'd start up at positive 6, that'd start up at negative 6. They both go down 3, forward 2, they run parallel. Now, game changer, perpendicular to y equals 1/2 x minus 1 through negative 2, 3. M, B, ditch your B. Now the game changes though. M is the slope, B is the y-intercept. Now it says perpendicular. You need to make the slope into a fraction so it already is a fraction. Fine. Flip it, so flip it to 2 over 1 and change the sign to opposite. So this was positive, so mine has to be negative. If you have a 1 on the bottom, you can discard of it. Negative 2. Y equals m times x plus b. So m, negative 2. 3 will replace the y, and then negative 2 will replace the x. B we don't replace, that's what we're figuring out. So plus, put your b, that's 4, and then you minus 4. 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and we have it. Y equals negative 2x plus negative 1. Okay, perpendicular to y equals 5x plus 4 through negative 5, 6. MB. So M is the slope, B is the y-intercept. Okay, MB, ditch the B. Now they're talking perpendicular, so you don't do what you do on parallel. Perpendicular, make the slope into a fraction, so put a 1 under the 5, flip it to 1 over 5. Change the sign to opposite, so this is positive, mine needs to be negative then. Negative 1/5. So y equals m times x plus b. So your m would be negative 1/5 now. And then 6 replaces the y, negative 5 replaces the x. So I find what negative 1/5 times 5 is negative 5 is going to be 1, b plus 1. Subtract your 1, and you got it, 5 equals b. Okay, we're going to run through 4 more examples, and then that's the end of the video. Okay, parallel to y equals 5x minus 2 through 2 negative 1. So y equals blank x plus blank mb. So slope m and b, remember what they are. M's the slope and b's the y-intercept. It's where it crosses the y-axis. So mb. Get rid of your b. Now we're back to parallel. Parallel use the same slope. Okay, so my slope will be the same as over there, 5. Pay attention whether it's parallel or perpendicular. So my m is 5, and then negative 1 for y, 2. So drop your plus, put your b in front, 5 times 2 is 10. Minus your 10 from negative 1, and that's negative 11. Okay. Solved. Okay. These two would have the same m, but they have different b's. They would be parallel. Okay, parallel to y equals 9x through 0, negative 5. Okay, so y equals blank x plus blank mb. Okay, you got m, put a plus 0 if it's your b, but we don't, who cares? We don't use b that they gave me. So mb, m's the slope, and b's the y-intercept. We're talking parallel, so parallel use the same m that they have. So 9 is what I'm using. And y equals m times x plus b. The m is 9, negative 5 is y, and yes, you're going to take 9 times 0. But a funny thing happens, you put your b, 9 times 0 is 0, so you have your answer right there, negative 5. You don't need to subtract 0, that'd be stupid. Okay. Okay, 2 more. Perpendicular to y equals negative 3x plus 7 through 3, 5. Okay, y equals blank x plus blank. It's right there, mb. So we got to find what m and b are. So that's the slope, that's the y-intercept. Okay. MB, we don't need the B. Well, it says perpendicular. Let's read up a little reminder how to do perpendicular. Make the slope into a fraction. We'll put a 1 under it. It's a fraction. Flip it 3 over 1, 1 over 3. Change the sign to the opposite. So this has negative, mine's going to be positive. Y equals m times x plus b. So my m is 1/3. Y is 5. 1/3 times 3. 1/3 times 3 is 1. Then you minus 1. 4 equals b. So it'd be 4. Y equals 1/3 x plus 4. Okay, our last problem in this video. Perpendicular to y equals negative 3x plus 7 through... No, I just did that one. That's the wrong problem. Okay. 8x minus 1 through 410. Okay, so MB, so slope y-ant. Okay, their m is 8, their b is minus 1. I don't care about their b. Back to perpendicular. Make the slope into a fraction. So 8 over 1. Flip it. So it'd be 1 over 8. Change the sign to opposite. So if it's positive here, it'll be negative here. So negative 1/8. Then b, y equals m times x plus b. So m is going to be negative 1/8. Okay. 10 is y. 4 is x. Okay. So you're going to have 10. So we take negative 1/8 times 4. Negative 1/2, that's fine. That's fine, okay? You can add a fraction. So plus 1/2 plus 1/2. That's going to be 10.5. Whole number plus a fraction is just the whole number with the fraction. So 10 and 1/2. Alright, so you got two parallels, two perpendiculars.